Grew strong beneath the eagle's wing. The first dawn I knew sparked a fire deep within. Stood rooted like mountains against the raging gale, till duty awakened and you march without fail. Proud in the heartland's glow, I stand proud in the heartland's glow. I stand proud in the heartland's glow. Proud in the heartland's glow now. Caught fire in a village square. They fitted these shoulders with honor out there. Crossed fast rolling waves to a traveled shore, to shield sacred values our fathers fought for. Proud in the heartland's glow, I stand proud in the heartland's glow. I stand proud in the heartland's glow. Proud in the heartland's glow now. Came back from the far-off clash with tales of true courage that time cannot dash. Approach the stone pillars that reach for the sky, where the lost are remembered and their legacy lies. Oh yeah. No, no. No, no, no. My uncle hit the Normandy beach, pushing back darkness with valor in reach. He offered his crown on that blood-colored tide, so liberty's beacon could never subside. I hold tight his lessons like armor each day, protecting the promise that won't fade away. Kneel silent by the fields of white crosses aligned, where the bravest find peace and the spirit shine. Spent years reflecting on costs they embraced, grateful for guardians who freedom have graced.
Gee, y'all.
Travelers swear by this one trick.
What's up with Mom?
"250 years ago they signed their names, put everything at risk for freedom's sacred flame. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their honor too. Under God they built a nation strong and true. From 13 colonies, a beacon rose to shine, a land where liberty and faith would intertwine. 250 years we stand, one nation under God's command. Though we face trials in these days, we trust in you and lift our praise. 250 years of grace, Lord, help us fight for this sacred place. God bless America once more. Guide us like you've done before. The road in God we trust for all to see, endowed by him with sacred liberty. Through every generation battles came, but faith and freedom still remain. Yes, we see our values under fire, our heritage attacked by those who conspire. But we're not broken, we won't fall. We answer still to freedom's call. 250 years we stand, one nation seeking God's command. Though darkness tries to steal our light, we hold to what we know is right. 250 years of praise, we'll honor this, our sacred place. God bless America, restore the vision of our founders' call. Father, we won't stay silent anymore. We're standing up for what you have in store. 250 years. Your hand is led. We trust you for the path ahead. Though enemies would see us fall, we know that you are Lord of all.
Larry, I'm doing about a half hour of it. 2 miles before 1. I can play music now.
We're seeking out your perfect will. 250 years we rise, with faith and hope in our eyes. God save America, we pray. Lead us forward from this day. We're not perfect, but we're yours. Together we will win this war. 250 years, the best is yet to come. When we return to God and stand as one, in God we trust. We'll say it loud. 250 years, still standing proud.
Hello. Next one is 6 minutes.
Flags are waving down Main Street. The summer sun is shining bright. Storefront signs say holiday deals, and neon fills the night. Families gather, grills are burning, schools are out and skies are blue. But somewhere in the quiet distance, a bugle softly plays for you.
Rows of white stones stand in silence, heroes sleeping side by side. Men and women who once answered duties fought with courage and pride.
This day was never meant to be about furniture or cars on sale. It's about the ones who gave their lives so freedom's light would never fail. Memorial Day is for the fallen, for those who never made it home, for every life laid on the line, so we would never stand alone. They made the choice, they paid the price for the red, the white, the blue. So bow your head and take a moment, because they gave their lives for you. Land of the free, because of the brave, freedom's banner still waves today. Because heroes stood when duty called and gave everything away. It's the sound of boots on distant ground, letters sent from far away.
I got a few more. I'm gonna do
Young Americans with hopeful hearts who never saw another day. It's folded flags and grieving hands and tears too deep for words to say. Gold Star families standing strong while remembering the price they paid. It's the silence on the flight line as the fallen heroes came. Caskets draped in red, white, and blue, each one bearing a name. Those flags upon those coffins were not just cloth blowing free. They wrapped around a hero who gave their life for liberty. Memorial Day is for the fallen, for those who gave their final breath, for every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and God who faced death. They stood for us, they fought for us, for freedom's sacred flame. So don't forget the reason why we honor this day in their name. Armed Forces Weeks for thanking those who proudly serve our land, standing watch through sleepless nights, ready when duty demands. Veterans Days for those who served, who came home carrying the cost. But Memorial Day is sacred ground for honoring those we lost. So before the sales and celebrations, before the cookouts start today, remember all the brave souls lost who chose to stand and stay.
Memorial Day is for remembrance, for sacrifice and honor too. For every hero's final journey beneath hope, glory's red, white, and blue.
And as that flag waves high above us, may we never lose our way, because freedom is never free. It was paid for on Memorial Day. Today we remember Today we honor. Today we reflect. God bless our fallen heroes, their families, our veterans, our active duty service members.
Okay, I got 3 more, you guys. 3 more.
Flag slow, withered hands and eyes that knew. He said, son, this ain't just colors flying high above the blue. It's every prayer and every sacrifice that carried me and you. Mama cried when brother left and prayed him safely home again. That front porch light stayed burning bright through every night of fear and wind. Till one day down that gravel road, that soldier came back home again. Yeah, we bent, but we ain't broken. Still got fire, still got hope. This flag still means something, still flies over me, over every small town Friday night and every family dream. It still stands for freedom and the ones who gave it all, red, white, and blue forever, and we'll never let it fall. Whoa, let the whole world see. Yeah, this flag still means something, and it still means something to me. Friday lights and county fairs, church bells ringing through the air. Neighbors helping neighbors out because they know somebody cares. Fireworks on summer nights with old men standing proud and still. Hands held high across their hearts when freedom flies above the hills. Yeah, this world keeps changing fast, but some things were built to last. This flag still means something, still flies over me, over every small town Friday night and every family dream. It still stands for freedom and the ones who gave it all, red, white, and blue forever, and we'll never let it fall. Whoa, let the whole world see. Yeah, this flag still means something, and it still means something to me. It means sacrifice and standing tall when hard times hit. It means holding on to hope and never ever quitting. Every star and every stripe was stitched together out of love. And through the darkest nights we still believe in what it was. This flag still means something, still flies over me, over every broken road we've walked and every family dream. It still stands for freedom and the ones who gave it all, red, white, and blue forever, and we'll never let it fall. Whoa, let the whole world see. Yeah, this flag still means something, and it still means something to me.
Okay, 2 more, you guys. 2 more.
Fits your budget.
minutes.
We remember those departed on this Memorial Day, men who stood tall with pride, the American way. When duty beckoned, they met the call. All gave some, but some gave all. Remember those brave warriors, place flags, be sure to pray. Men who fought for our freedom, shed blood for a brighter day. When duty beckoned, they always stood tall. All gave some, but some gave all. America the beautiful, may your flag always wave. Our country they protected, our future they helped save. True heroes we honor, our duty on this day. Remember all the fallen on this Memorial Day. Remember to read the markers, their memory won't fade away. Men who lived with true honor, a debt we can't repay. When duty beckoned, they did not stall. All gave some, but some gave all. America the beautiful, may your flag always wave. Our country they protected, our future they helped save. True heroes we honor, our duty on this day. Remember all the fallen on this Memorial Day. True heroes we honor, our duty on this day. Remember all the fallen on this Memorial Day.
We've got to take.
Okay, last one, you guys. I think we didn't play this one.
Fireworks, no noise tonight.
4 minutes.
Somebody didn't make it home. Folded flag on the front porch swing, boots by the door still covered in sand. Picture frame with a younger smile, a life that stopped where it used to stand. Small town road with a name carved deep, crossed by the highway, rust on steel. We drive on by, but somebody stops, 'cause that name is someone they still feel. They paid in full for the life we live. Every breath and every ride we're giving ain't just a line that you read and pass. It's a weight that don't fade, it's a truth that lasts. So don't just wave that red, white, and blue. know what it cost and who it took. Freedom ain't free. Yeah, that's the truth. They paid in full for me and you. They weren't looking for a hero's name, didn't sign up for a stone in a day. Just did their job when the call came down, stood their ground when it came to fate. From desert dust to a midnight sea, from skies above to the jungle floor, they held that line so we could sleep, and they don't come back through that door. They paid in full for the life we live. Every breath and every ride we're given ain't just a line that you read and pass. It's a weight that don't fade, it's a truth that lasts. So don't just wave that red, white, and blue. Know what it cost and who it took. Freedom ain't free. Yeah, that's the truth. They paid in full for me and you. For me and you. So when that anthem plays, stand up straight. Don't look down, don't hesitate. This ain't pride for show or flash. It's paid in blood, not hashtags. Every cross, every name, every silent grave. That's the price that freedom gave. They paid in full for the life we live. Every breath and every ride we're given ain't just a line that you read and pass. It's a debt we carry. It's the truth that lasts. So don't just wave that red, white, and blue. Stand for the ones we never got back. Freedom ain't free. We all know that truth. They paid in full, and that's a fact. And that's a fact. This ain't just another day off. It's a day we remember who didn't get one.
Okay, that's for Memorial Day 2026. I'm going to do a prayer. I'll try to do my best on the prayer. And Father, God, happy Memorial Day 2026. We're here another day of togetherness. So this, how long this movie will end, but we'll see how things go these next 40 days till the celebration of our 250th anniversary. And I hope from the past that we lost of all our veterans, soldiers, the past, and then current and the future, and prayers out to my two nephews. One's getting out in February, and the other one is halfway. I think he has 10 more years. So please make sure those two are. One has 2 kids. The other one just got married. So God bless both of them and all the people that I know that has past veterans and current. I hope this Memorial Day will be the start of the ending of greatness and feelings of happiness. The past 6 years for us has been really hard. And God, you're the only one that can make us better, and hopefully someday our day will come. and I'm doing the best I can, keeping us together every day. So that's all I'm asking God is please heal all the ones that needs the healing. And if we get blessings with something in our accounts, that'll be great. But if we don't, it's all about the children. Hopefully we got most of the children saved. So once again, God, just put your hand down all the angels, everybody around everybody in the world, especially our, USA, our soldiers, our president, and first lady and family, and Don Jr. just got married again. So everybody's on him. So we're going to leave you with this. World peace. Time for happiness. Start of summer. And that's it for now, God. Here's Son's name. Amen. I hope that was okay. I did the best I could. Hey, Opportunity, welcome. Yep. Gonna be a real big next till the 4th of July, and hopefully something will unite us with happiness soon. All right. So Lucy's only mod in right now. Hopefully we'll get everybody in here. Must be lurking. Spies beat you again, Flying Eagle. He was the first one in. Okay. Well, let's Memorial Day news 2026 begin. And Trump is speaking right now on Fox. All right, we'll go ahead and get going here. Start off with the small videos. Can you hear my beginning, Flying Eagle? I was on for a while doing videos and just did prayer. How was it? Was it okay? Thanks. So yeah, I'm getting everything all lined up and ready to go for Intel. Thanks. I did the best I could. Okay. Well, Penny came out with on about the deal. The deal is done. We'll listen to that one. We do got Mel an hour 27 minutes. And tonight's show, we might have a live Patreon Underground with a special guest, Lucy. And that is that one doctor lady, Jan. She's going to be on live tonight at 7.
President Trump is at the precipice of signing a peace agreement with Iran that will fundamentally change the Middle East forever and change the world for the better. And don't take my word for it. Look at the future crystal ball of the markets, which is pricing in these things. I don't know how they know. I don't know why, but it is the way that it is. The market always knows. The market is understanding and has information that is most likely not available to the public right now. And they're saying we are about to rip roar. Look at this. This is the S&P 500 futures. It's a federal holiday today, so the S&P 500 and the markets are all closed in America. But futures are saying, oh, yippee-ki-yay. Check it out. Look at this. S&P 500 futures today, it is skyrocketing. Meanwhile, oil down to $85 a barrel. Now, this isn't the price of oil today. This is the prediction of where oil is going to go. Oil has already fallen 10% in the last 24 hours, and it's collapsed another 3% today. What does that tell you? That tells you that the Strait of Hormuz will open, that oil will flow. And we saw millions of barrels of oil actually flow through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday as a test case. The architecture of President Trump's peace deal is now 95% done. Trump is saying, take your time. And he just had a major announcement on this peace deal that I think will change the world, but you're already seeing the world change. Just a reminder, when it comes to oil markets, that $65 a barrel leads you to $2 a gallon on average gasoline. Look at this. Here is the end of 2025. Where you can see that oil hovered around $65 a barrel. Sometimes it crashed a little bit below 60, but that was historically low gas prices. You had gas prices in Texas and Colorado that were $1.50 or $1.40 a gallon. We have the screenshots, we have the viewers, we have the people in the chat that sent us these photos. They were gassing up for historic prices, and we could get right back down there. In fact, we're $20 away right now. The odds of us having $2 gasoline, which of course makes your groceries cheaper, it makes all products cheaper, it makes your homes cheaper, everything suddenly becomes more affordable in the country because everything is a petroleum byproduct, whether you need a truck to ship it to you or whether it's literally made from petroleum, as so many things are. Ladies and gentlemen, all of it requires this rare earth commodity, and it is now pouring again through the Strait of Hormuz with accelerated production through Venezuela and the Gulf of America happening at the greatest clip in U.S. history. That's why President Trump's saying gas will crash down below $2 a gallon. I think you should bet on it. Again, look at this. This is $65 a barrel oil. This was when you had $2 average gas, unless you live in California, RIP. Because the dirty communists in that state add so many different taxes to your gas, it artificially inflates it. So when it's $2 for everyone else, it's $5 in California. Oil is down another 6% today. What is this? Is this the smartest people in the market? Is this the smartest algorithms and the best traders in the world and the biggest companies on earth with the most sophisticated AIs and the most sophisticated connections to our federal government wanting to lose money on oil? Is this them wanting to lose money on the stock market and on the futures? No. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the prediction of what is about to happen. And what is about to happen? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Iran deal is 95% complete. The final stretch may take a few days. U.S. officials say the plan will end the war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz without tolls. This is critical. And eventually address Iran's enriched nuclear material, which Iran said we will not build a nuclear weapon. You can have our enriched uranium yesterday, a massive win for the president. Billions in frozen assets could be released to Iran if they play nice. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson says we will not take tolls on the Strait of Hormuz. Pakistan's army chief field marshal, who's been negotiating this deal directly in Tehran, flew immediately to China to inform Xi Jinping about this. What did he say? He says the deal is effectively done. He flew directly to Tehran. He briefed Xi on the negotiations. China State News Agency reported the consultation between these two, and Pakistani mediator said that, hey, the Iran deal is very promising news for Beijing, for the world economy. The Washington Post reports that Iran has developed a proposal and a total framework extending the current ceasefire with negotiations to continue toward a broader agreement. What does this mean? Reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. That's why gas prices is doing this. And what does it also mean? Military operations across regional fronts will halt. Iran and the U.S. stress that the final agreement still needs to be resolved. That's what this is, okay? These are the indicators. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson said we will not toll the Strait of Hormuz. This was obviously a big sticking point. Here we go. And now President Trump in with the sonic boom of a Truth Social post. I encourage you to read the whole thing, but let me give you the TLDR version of this. He says that all the Arab leaders are joining together to help end the war. The United States is trying to pull this very complex puzzle together. Mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign onto the Abraham Accord. This is the Abraham Accords. What are they? It is to establish full diplomatic relations, promote economic cooperation, trade, tourism, security for people of all ties. The first new Arab-Israeli normalization and the Abraham Accords are named after Abraham, a common ancestor of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, symbolizing shared heritage and coexistence. So it's essentially a peace accord. They represent a shift from the traditional land of peace model, which is more of an economic opportunity and technology model, and even military cooperation model, as you've seen. Trump saying that the Abraham Accords will have proven to be, for the countries involved, a financial, economic, and social boom. Even during the time of conflict and war, current members never even struggled leaving or taking even a moment's pause. President Trump saying, I'm mandating that all the countries immediately sign on the Abraham Accords, that if Iran signs the agreement with me, the President of the United States of America, it would be an honor to have them also a part of this unparalleled world coalition. So now President Trump is offering total peace with Iran through absolute total regional development, technology sharing, and economic motility through the Abraham Accords. This would fundamentally change the world if President Trump was able to pull this off. This would change the world forever. President Trump just floated Iran joining the Abraham Peace Accords along with other countries in making a deal. Negotiations are surging forward right now. That would be something special, says Donald Trump.
Speak any language at the touch of a button. Yes, now it's possible. Meet in Nets, the cutting-edge two-way.
Amazing. President Trump called on Saudi Arabia and Qatar to immediately join the Abraham Accords, and other countries involved should follow suit. He said Iran would have a seat at the table. Amazing. All of the allies should sign on. All of them then would be able to share in the peace and the prosperity. The United States has agreed to release $12 billion in Iranian funds that's being held in Qatar. High-level Iranian officials are in Qatar right now. And of course, this would be conditional on them signing a peace agreement. U.S. official tells Washington Post Iran will not receive a single dollar before it abandons its nuclear stockpile and opens the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, fine. Everyone can do this all at the same time. The markets are pricing it in. An agreement has been largely negotiated, subject to finalization of the United States, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and other countries listed. President Trump says we could have a broader peace. Bibi Netanyahu, what does he say? I spoke last night with Trump about the memorandum of understanding to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and upcoming negotiations towards final agreement or peace. I expressed my deep appreciation for the president and his unwavering commitment to Israeli security. President Trump and I agreed that any final agreement with Iran must eliminate nuclear danger. Fine. President Trump also reaffirmed Israel's right to defend itself against threats. Fine. The partnership between us and our two countries, I've always believed that Israel's problems are Israel's problems, America's problems are America's problems. Sometimes they overlap. Most of the time they don't. And that countries should be allowed to independently run themselves. And what would be best for our country, America first, is for us to be out of this war and for us to deliver for the people of America. That's what I've always maintained and will continue to do so. And so it is what it is, right? The partnership between us and our countries have been proven on the battlefield, never been stronger. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Okay, fine. You know, Iran's the one saying yesterday, we don't want a nuclear weapon. So good. Let's just lock it up. Why would you want that? Well, because that's what regional stability looks like. Nobody wants to traverse oil through an area that is in flames and potentially nuclear irradiated as everyone's launching nukes at each other. That's going to collapse the global economy. It's going to collapse the local economies. I mean, who in the world could have seen this coming? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a beautiful thing. Who knows what's going to happen next? U.S. Air Force airlift to the Middle East continue at a large rate. Also very positive in a sense it is Memorial Day. A massively beautiful report here. The U.S. Army has surpassed its 2016 enlistment goals with 4 months ahead of schedule, signing contracts with 62,000 new soldiers. Beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Americans patriotically wishing to serve their country, honor their country, dying for their country as we celebrate and memorialize today their sacrifice. Let us not entangle ourselves in further wars that kill Americans. We don't want that. We've never wanted that. We will never advocate for that unless absolutely and totally necessary. It is something that should be reserved only for a time and a place. Commander-in-chief, the American people are under threat. And right now, if you could eliminate the nuclear threat in Iran, if you could eliminate the economic threat in Iran, if you could make that region peaceful, then what a wonderful way to kick off a Memorial Day. What a perfect tribute, frankly, to the millions of American soldiers who have given their lives for this country, for freedom and prosperity for this land. Iran nuclear deal by May 31st. The markets are skyrocketing here. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are the markets that you should really be paying attention to as well. Boom. They always know. Lock in. Pray for peace. Pray for President Trump. And pray a prayer of thanks today for the soldiers and military members who sacrificed their lives so that we could fight for this greatest nation on earth together in this moment right now. God bless all of you and your families today. Pray for peace. See ya.
Okay, that's a new one today from Betty, an important one. I got a 3-minute one. It's from the lady with TikTok. The one with the glasses that takes her videos down. I can't remember if I played this.
What they're doing inside. A lot of people are worried about the water.
One ago?
That's what I said yesterday in my video. If you watch the other video, Water scarcity. There is no water scarcity. I'm going to stress this
Yeah, I
one more
think we
time to
did.
people. If you're a local government official,
Sorry about that one, you guys. Okay, this next one is 5 minutes. You guys remember this one?
That when they got here, what did they start doing? Businesses, infrastructure, railroads were big for them, and they would eventually start doing business with the mortgage. JP Morgan. Okay, so like, at what point did they like grab our country by the balls? Well, that would be about 1895, 1896-ish. That's when JP Morgan and the Rothschilds bailed out the entire country of America because we're running out of gold. And so they said, hey, we have $45 million worth of gold. Want it? I imagine there was a little bit of, quid pro quo there. Daggone. And then there's 1910, the Jekyll Island meeting after the 1907 bank panic that led to the 1913 formation of the Federal Reserve. And that was all because of an island that they met at that was owned by JP Morgan and a boat that sank that was owned by JP Morgan that kept the Federal Reserve's naysayers from getting the meetings. And now we have a central bank that's controlled by Rothschild Rockefeller money. Jeez. And then that's not to mention the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812. They pressured America heavy to finance it. Even the Civil War, they were on both sides in the Napoleonic War. And guess what? The first thing our central bank funded after it was founded in 1913. 1913. That would be. Did they fund? Oh God. 6 months later, World War I. Well, that's all bad, but at least it stopped. Shortly after that, Britain would write them a letter saying, hey, that land in the Middle East that you want, we're going to give it to you, Mr. Rothschild. Israel, it's all yours. Oh. The reason you can't afford an engagement ring or a wedding band, it's because of the Rothschilds and the De Beers Diamond Company. In the mid-'80s, they created an M&A company. An M&A company is a merger and acquisition company. Think private equity, but before private equity. And guess what they did with we might need to slow down, but what did they do with it? We're using it to get involved in Wall Street. They wanted to infiltrate the New York Wall Street monster that had been forming in America. You want to know what they did to do that? What did they do? They did it by sending somebody to New York City to oversee the purchase of Macmillan Inc. Macmillan Inc. was a media company that would be McGraw-Hill, which is responsible for a lot of the elementary school books that you and I were raised on. Do you want to know who they sent to New York City in 1988 to do this? Robert Maxwell. He was in partnership with Robert Maxwell. And when Robert Maxwell would go on to die on his yacht because he owed the Mossad money, guess who he also owed about 50 million pounds to? The Rothschild family through the Bank of England. Wait, Robert Maxwell's, that's Ghislaine Maxwell's father? Is connected to the Rothschild? That's right. Robert Maxwell, along with Roy Cohn, had been running a corporate blackmail ring throughout the entire world run by the Mossad. And when he died, Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein took on the reins. That's why they had been introduced only 6 months prior to his death. After that, they would go on to infiltrate people like the princes, the politicians, and the media moguls that we know today. And we know through Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer through 2008 and 2009, admitted that he was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein in the early 90s by a Rothschild. Okay, well, we don't have proof that Epstein worked for a Rothschild. Here's an email from Epstein over to Peter Thiel. Says, as you know, I represent the Rothschild family. Maybe only represented a few of them. Maybe he didn't represent the whole family. Here's this wrinkly old pervert, Les Wexner, saying he represented the whole family. What? Okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Tag Howard Lutnick. I think that's what we could do because I believe he's a Mossad plant that's currently being seeded by the Rothschild family in a place precariously right next to Jeffrey Epstein. All because he's his neighbor? Like he just maybe bought the home on Zillow. He didn't. He bought the home in 1998 from the Comet Trust, which was run by the son of the World Jewish Congress founder and World Zionist Foundation organizer. Also before that, it was owned by Jeffrey Epstein himself. Well, just because he owned it doesn't mean like it was his house or anything like that or ever lived there. Or, like that. Come on. Jeffrey Epstein would actually live there in 1992. Starting right after things got serious with Ghislaine. So they would probably be shagging or doing whatever from 92 to 95 in that property before moving over into the other property, which will remain vacant for about 3 years before Jeffrey Epstein gets to pick his neighbor. It happens to be the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, who would profit off of 9/11, survive 9/11, and also then use Cantor Fitzgerald with his sons at the helm to profit off of the very tariff being shot down in the Supreme Court that he helped form. So you you basically think Howard Lutnick is like a really high-level crisis actor. Yeah, I thought of it that way. Yes, that's exactly what I think. What a liar. Lutnick the liar, that's what I call him.
Okay. Another good one, I thought. Okay, the next one will be 7 minutes. On this one, finally, though.
Protection from the guys upstairs.
Sure.
The second thing is the guys that are in control, they understand that there's a much bigger picture.
This is George Green, the finance guy of the big boys. He says he used to run around with leaders, presidents, and the world's most powerful people. What he reveals next may challenge what you think is possible.
Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours. We give them a small electrical charge. Now I'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver.
If this is true, how does he have the courage to say it?
Cloning too much, the people that get involved into that disappear because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed.
Even Philip K. Dick, the well-known author, said on camera that the CIA and the FBI were watching him. He claimed they destroyed his house and took all of his papers. Wonder why?
You are free to believe me or to disbelieve, but please take my word on it that I am not joking. This is very serious. A breaching, a tinkering, a change had been made, but not in our present, had been made in our past. A variable was changed, reprogrammed as it were, and that because of this, an alternative world branched off, became actualized instead of the prior one.
A few years later, Philip suddenly died. Some people found the timing strange. He passed away shortly before the premiere of Blade Runner, the film based on his work that would have brought him worldwide recognition. Maybe it would have complicated certain plans. Who knows? This brings us back to George. I didn't find anything consistent on the internet about his current situation. A YouTube video from Aquarian Media interviewing George mentions in the description that he died in 2019, probably of natural causes. Maybe he was protected. Who knows? He says he was connected to people from the CIA, MI6, the FBI, and even foreign governments. Let's go deeper into this cloning thing because honestly, this is something I didn't expect.
Making people, meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics?
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours. We give them a small electrical charge. I'll act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, you know, and the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food, where they can use cows and sheep too. Again, a food source, that's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA.
Let's look at what is already possible. You might be surprised. Cloning is a biological process based on genetics. Every cell in the human...
Sorry about that one, you guys. That wasn't very good. We got 5 minutes of Trisha. And then a 9-minute from the guy from California. Yeah, that one I didn't understand very well.
Season calls for fresh tools. At Harbor Freight, there are always new tools to discover.
One of the dumbest communist socialists of them all, she decided it would be a really great look to go down to the South and campaign as though she's in a Pope mobile. Did you see this?
To make sure that we all understand that Montgomery is not alone, that you all are not alone. And for all of those watching today, when they ask, what do we do in this moment? I feel helpless. What action can I take?
I bet she feels helpless, trapped behind that bulletproof glass.
It's time for the North to pull up to the South. It's time for New York to pull up to Alabama.
Like that in the Pope Mobile?
It is time for all of us to come to Georgia, to Louisiana, to Tennessee, to Mississippi, and let them know exactly what they have uncorked with this injustice. They think they can draw us out of.
So, yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. I mean, if you're, I'm just saying, you're campaigning for president, that's not going to fly. What exactly was that about? Honestly, like, look, I shouldn't laugh because we're living in tough times, and you saw what just happened out in San Diego, and I am so sorry to see that. And, you know, the people that lost their lives there. And we know that this president, of course, has had so many multiple attacks on him. So I shouldn't laugh about it, but it's just not really a good look. I mean, it might be kind of premature at this point. I don't think she's that polarizing, right? But she's trying to send a message that she's scared of the right, that she thinks somehow the right is going to take her out. I don't think that's the case. I actually think the right would love it if she runs for president. Right now, that's what the polls are suggesting, that it could be AOC versus Marco Rubio. And who wouldn't take that trade all day long, right? I mean, I'm not scared of that one bit. I would welcome that. I'd welcome Kamala. There's a lot of people I'd welcome. I'd welcome Ilhan and Rashida and, you know, even Gavin, because Gavin is toast. Look at Gavin out there. What a mess that's become. Karen Bass is toast. I mean, the Spencer Pratt stuff is amazing. I mean, that guy is just the gift that keeps on, you know, giving. All of those memes that he keeps posting. He's just doing a phenomenal job there campaigning in California. And I think it's going to happen for him. But AOC, you know, Rock 67, I think I have your handle right. You make a good point. AOC needs a therapist. I think she has one, right? Like a really expensive one who specializes in like some rather avant-garde stuff. Not just shrooms, but like other kinds of, I mean, unfortunately, the stuff that actually wound up killing the actor from Friends, Matthew Perry. Yeah. That was, I don't know if it's her therapist per se, but she apparently went to him for some like campaign consulting stuff. That's how they put it on the campaign finance reports. Yeah, you see, I think they need to do a little more digging into Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's campaign finance reports between the funny doctor up in Boston and the salsa lessons and then the makeup artist. Yeah, you might have a little there. Just a little teeny bit of something there. Oh, this is going to be fun. Hey, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't. Oh, look at Balance of Nature gets 2 commercials today. BalanceofNature.com, 10% off. Okay, I didn't expect that. Anyway, great to have you all here. Thank you for everything you do to make this show such a success. Please let me know what you think. Is AOC going to be the Democrat nominee? And if she is, do you welcome that? Would you like to?
Hey, the first one on Trish. The news guy came out on time this time. This is 9 minutes.
This is EPEC, the news you need, the breaking news you need. I'm your host, H.G. Gerner. This is just a little bit ago, maybe 45 minutes ago or so. Breaking news. Today is May 25th, the year of our Lord 2026. This is breaking news out of Miami. Stay with me. You're going to love this. Right from the Just the News, the headlines. U.S. Attorney in Miami sends message to deep state with indictment against ex-prosecutors. Stay with me. This is explosive. Charges against, I'm going to read this right off the wire. Stay with me. Charges against former U.S. Attorney Carmen Mercedes Lineberger carry more than 20 years in prison. Stay with me, y'all. This is going to, holy moly. President Trump is now officially going after the deep state. And we know that President Trump was railroaded big time. They cobbled together several, I guess, misdemeanors that they thought were misdemeanors. They weren't. President Trump, when he does his, deals or real estate deals, etc., there's a money exchange, hands, all kinds of financial records and stuff. Donald Trump doesn't do his financial records. He has attorneys, accountants. He has whole teams of accountants, attorneys, okay, that actually take on the duty of doing, basically recording, etc., his financial dealings. Donald Trump he's the figurehead. He hires people to do this, and that's what they railroaded him on, that he was somehow involved. The accountants are the ones that may have made a mistake, but doesn't matter. They cobble together bullshit. Stay with me. In less than a week, the U.S. attorney in Miami is supervising the probe of Obama-Biden era government weaponization, secured indictments against Cuban communist dictator Raul Castro and an alleged money launderer for Venezuelan strong-arm man Nicolas Maduro. Stay with me. But it was Jason Redding Quinones' indictment against one of his own former federal prosecutors for trying to steal a sealed, classified report from Jack Smith's investigation of President Donald Trump that may have sent the loudest shockwaves through government. Stay with me. The charges against former Assistant U.S. Attorney Carmen Mercedes Lineberger carry more than 20 years in prison and put on notice the current and former FBI agents, intelligence community spies, and prosecutors whose conduct is currently being examined by a grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida. They've summoned a grand jury. This is when they have evidence now. The evidence is clear that the Biden-Obama era basically spied on Donald Trump as a citizen and then as a president. But stay with me. It's not only, and this is to continue, it's not only a message to any prosecutor, it's a message to any government employee that you have an obligation, you take an oath to work for the government, and you take that oath to support and defend the Constitution and to do your duties well and faithfully. And we take that here in the Southern District of Florida very seriously, Quinones said and told the Just the News in a wide-ranging interview. Stay with me. In Fort Pierce, where Lineberger worked, that's the assistant U.S. attorney in Florida, where she worked. The special assistant U.S. attorney her assistant Joe DeGenova is exploring whether a decade-long pursuit of Trump by Obama-era intel and law enforcement officials amounted to a criminal conspiracy to violate the president's and his followers' civil rights. Let me repeat that. In Fort Pierce, where Lineberger worked, the special assistant U.S. attorney Joe DeGenova is exploring whether a decade-long pursuit of Trump by Obama-Biden era intel and law enforcement officials amounted to a criminal conspiracy to violate the president and his followers' civil rights. This is the case. When you present false evidence, this is my point. This is my little op-ed. When you falsify evidence, present that to a FISA court to get a warrant to spy on a candidate. That's a major violation of the rights of a citizen of the United States. Then they spied on Donald Trump as a president. That's a violation of his rights. First, you falsified evidence, then you presented it to the FISA courts to get a warrant. Those are two separate violations. One, you falsified evidence. Okay, that's a major crime in and of itself. Then you present that evidence to a FISA court to get a warrant to spy on a candidate or your political candidate. It's stunning. Stay with me. Lineberger played a role in one part of that pursuit, assisting from her Fort Pierce office Smith's probe into classified memos. Stay with me. You have to hear this. into classified memos found during a raid at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. As she was preparing to retire, Lineberger tried to steal the sealed classified report Smith wrote before he dismissed his charges against Donald Trump. Remember that? He dismissed it all. Okay. This is a quote from Mr. Quinones. This is a troubling case because it's from one of our former, not only federal prosecutors, assistant U.S. attorneys, but one of our former leaders, Quinones says. It's a person that ran an office in Fort Pierce that we call a managing assistant United States attorney, and there's very serious charges against her. Stay with me. What she was trying to do is steal government documents. For what purpose? We will let that come out when she has her day in court. Stay with me. Quinones explains. Here's the thing. She was trying to steal documents for some purpose that she wasn't authorized for, and she renamed those government documents Bundt Cake Recipe Chocolate Chip Cookies. She purposely renamed them to hide the theft. Quinones says this is very, very serious stuff. This is a conspiracy. When you have basically to take down not only a citizen, but an existing president, and take down a candidate running your political candidate. This was a wide-ranging conspiracy. Lineberger pleaded guilty the other day on Wednesday. Okay, the department, in announcing the charges, said that in separate instances in 2025, Lineberger altered the electronic file names of government records that she received in her official capacity to conceal her unauthorized electronic transmission of the records to personal email accounts belonging to her without being detected. This is a major, major crime. She's looking at 20 years. More importantly, the altered documents, government records, include a document that include parts of internal DOJ electronic messages, an internal DOJ memorandum, and a DOJ report related to a criminal prosecution that had been court ordered to remain under seal and prohibited from distribution and disclosure outside of the department. This is major breaking news. What we have here is not only the weaponization of agencies and individuals within those agencies, but a conspiracy, a wide-ranging conspiracy to take down a candidate, a political candidate opponent in a campaign, okay, for presidency, but then to spy on him, and then as a duly elected president, continue the spying. This is major breaking news, and guess what? We're going to start to see people go down. A grand jury has been summoned because they have the evidence. God bless everybody.
Hey, another big one there from him. All right, you guys. Boz, you ready? It's mail time.
So we'll just do a quick double check to make sure that what we have put in place is working. Can you hear me, to the beautiful admin? So let me hear you. Let's make sure we can do a test.
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect, and I can hear you now. I certainly can. This time we can rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, the beautiful Fairly Airly, she's put her hand up. Well, she's gone now. But ladies and gentlemen, we do apologise. As I said, I was taking away the power of those to be who have been inadvertently trying to shut us down. And Mel is always a little bit smarter and took away their pride and their inception of taking, you're going to take funds off me, mate, I'm going to stop people from funding you. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Problems sorted and crisis avoided. So ladies and gentlemen, it is Sizzling Sunday. This is Mel. We are still smiling. We are still breathing, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, do we have a lot to catch up on. The beautiful Nick is also in the house. But if Johnny and Ms. Z are still in the house, rightfully so. I did write down those two names as soon as we started. So if you are in the house or you can find them, you're welcome to come back up and start the show. But otherwise, we can start with Nick while we're waiting for everyone to come on. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome. So Nick, we can start with you as well if we want to, because there's so much going on. I want to know what's happening on all of your sides, what's happening in your world, ladies and gentlemen, that we can talk about. So,
hello, Mel.
I can hear
This
you.
is Ziggy. I don't know if I can talk now, because I know there was another gentleman before me, so I was waiting for him to take over.
That's okay. Johnny will be up in a short while, I'm sure. But Ms. Z, you can start the ball rolling. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to talk to you and to say hello to God's elf also.
Yes.
I have a question, and I'm currently living in Mexico.
Yes.
And I know that you mentioned a couple of times very little information about Mexico. And I have no idea why I'm still here in Mexico. Every time I want to go back home, there's always something that is keeping me here. And when I heard you talk about Mexico, I wanted to see if you had a group or you have more information, or am I supposed to be doing something here to help out? And so we can either, chat privately and see what it is. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can certainly do that.
And since I cannot leave any messages on your chat room, then I would welcome for you to send me a message, and then we can set up a time to talk. And I'm on Central Time.
Okay.
So you have an idea. So that's basically it. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
I hope I can help or do something here, because like I said, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because as I said, there is a reason for everything, isn't it? And sometimes we're not sure about what reason it is that we're still here, or what. I was about to throw out these tacky headphones that are almost like had it, yeah? And for some reason today, I didn't do that today. And these are the silly little things that happen. So why are you still in Mexico? Because it's probably the safest place for you right now. And in God's timing, we don't know what's going to happen on the other side. So so there's always reasons for our journeys to be delayed and things like that as well. And like I said, it could be as simple as, like I said, the headphones I was about to throw out come in handy today. So it bypasses them. They can cut my speaker off, but there had to be another way for me to get to listen to you as well. So they cut my speaker off. I found a way, and that's what we have to do. This is what this is. This ongoing journey is all about, Mrs. C. So, so definitely. So we can chat. We can chat after. That's not a problem at all. We will see and sort through that. But I don't have a group in Mexico yet. But there isn't a lot of news in Mexico, but certainly understand, Ms. Z, that when I was doing way back in COVID times and studying and researching the Stellar Network, in the Stellar Network, in their white papers, it talks about the Mexican peso being 1-to-1 with a lot of currencies. So you've got to take what you can find and then go, it could be a very good reason why you're in Mexico, because I'm going to have to find somewhere nice to stay and have coffee with you So there you go. So Stellar Network 1-to-1. There's Mexico.
Absolutely,
Okay.
would love to have you. Yes, and then, like I said, all my plans that I had for a humanitarian project has changed slightly. So I wanted to check with you because I know you have a little bit more of a knowledge than I do, and see what it is that I'm supposed to be doing down here. So I would love to do that. Love to talk to you, and let's see where this goes.
Absolutely. There's always a reason for something, because I wrote down your name today as well. So as I said, if Johnny is in the house and would like to unmute himself, feel free, Johnny. If the floor is yours. Otherwise, we will start to get this show rolling. So I don't see too many unmuted. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand up. The beautiful Sandy, Marlene, Robert, Nancy, welcome, welcome, welcome. So there's Johnny. How are you, champion? Johnny? You were there a second ago. There
Okay,
he is.
can you hear me now?
I can certainly hear you now, sir.
Okay, I heard you on Wacky Wednesday about the Zim and if we want to help out in the in humanitarian, but we don't. If we don't want to do nothing with it as a business, is it worth even putting anything into different? I mean, anything, because I heard there's a list and there's going to be quite a few names on the list. Is that a good idea to do that, or is it good to just stay out of it?
It's your personal choice, but
I mean, I would like to do it, but I don't want to have to be like responsible to have to take care of it.
Yeah, and that was it does put a different perspective on it, doesn't it? And we never thought about that perspective until I brought it up the other week.
Right. And you were, because when you had mentioned it, you said that you would have to run it. You'd have to take it as a business.
Yeah, well, you treat it in the respect that it deserves. You don't have to run it as a business. You can run it however you damn well please, sir. But what I'm saying is, respectfully, you need to be considering that. You could certainly consider, as I said, Johnny, to donate or perhaps be on a board of some other project, so as you make sure that the money that you have invested is also going to the places that needs to be worthy of your money. So be worthy of your money.
Okay, that makes sense.
As well as respect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it's not about telling you that you have to run a business. It's treat it respectfully as though it was your own business. Because if you just start giving and giving and giving, you're going to look behind and there's going to be nothing left for the credibility or the loyalty that you, Yeah,
and I would hate to have, if I started it and then if I wasn't paying attention to it, and then they keep coming back wanting more money.
Exactly.
So I remember you talking about it, and the first time I was trying to talk to you tonight, because I was just hitting the buttons because I didn't hear you. So
that's okay. I couldn't hear you. Apparently everyone could hear you, but I couldn't hear you. So they cut off my speaker. So I diverted my speaker to the headphones. So we'll sort them.
Now another question on the agro checks. Do you know anything on that? I mean, is that, because I heard some it's going to be like a currency, or
Yes,
is it going to be? Is it?
Yeah. To me, I would definitely treat it as a currency. So when you were to break it down, Johnny, if you were to break down agro, what does mean, other than the fact that I got a little agro this week with scammers, but let's take agro and have a look at this as in agriculture.
Okay.
Agriculture. So an agro check, if you were to think of it as agriculture, it takes me then to the navigation of farming and land. So agro checks, is think of it as agriculture. So we have to generate. So this was all about NASARA. NASARA was the Farmers Act. Agro being agriculture in Zimbabwe is agro, and that then transfers into the money, the land, and the feeding of the land. So I believe agro checks would be certainly, based upon even just that alone, would be that income that comes in for we the people and the land, the agricultural land. So that's how I see it, and that's my understanding, as in the payment structure. It goes back to the farmers or the farming land of agriculture. So there you go.
Okay.
Different
So
perspectives.
we would go in. So we could donate it to the farms, but would it be on the same sort that we would still keep an eye on what's going on?
Yeah, I would still be, like, as you say, as you thought about it, Johnny, and this is the whole purpose of what I do, is to get people to rethink or think about it more seriously or in a different perspective. You definitely need to keep an eye on it, respectfully so, because you don't, like you said, you don't want them coming back and just, oh, he's good for it, we'll just go and get some more money. We don't worry about wasting it, like.
Right.
And, so you need to be knowing that it's going in respectfully, going into those areas that you thought it was going to go into. So yeah.
So if anybody had agro, they could invest in agriculture and get their own thing going and hire people to come in and work it. Yes or no?
Well, both. That's part of it. It doesn't have to be agriculture. I'm just using that as an acronym to show you that agro checks, to me, is connected to agriculture, which is connected to land. Which means that you would have to treat as currency. So it's a form of currency that was given back. So,
okay. Sounds great.
Too easy. All right, Johnny. Thanks, darling.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sir. Silver Surfer, how are you?
Hey, aloha, Mel. Calling from beautiful Mokukiawe here in Hawaii. Hope you're doing well, and everybody else.
Yes, absolutely, sir. Go for it.
Yeah, so I was just thinking about the currency and current and our currency that is changing in a way that it's going to be flowing in a sense, yeah. And I know you mentioned the Stellar, XRP, and so forth. I was just thinking a long time ago, you talked about the Proton and about the Treasury moving into the XPR. Is that still something that is happening?
Yes.
Yeah,
certainly is.
So I went through Caleb and Brown, and it's interesting that they don't sell it anymore, because I went to go purchase it from them, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we don't sell that anymore."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm sure that maybe Coinbase, I know you had to go through the Ethereum section to get some, but anyway, it was just interesting with that, and kind of like maybe it's telling us something. Yeah, things are getting close, so it seems like it is. And I appreciate all your wisdom that you share with all of us, and that's it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you, Silver Surfer, because it's people like you who continue to listen and navigate your perspective on those things. And I will look into that, because often what happens is as I said, they've been using these tokens to do like beta testing. So that may have been, they've done the test, they've completed it. And as you just said, sir, there is movement at the station for the word that passed around. And we thank you and appreciate your input and keeping an eye on those things that I do heavily research for all of you as well. But XPR network is very important. And
may I ask one more question?
You certainly may, sir.
Yeah, so, when we were talking on, I think it was maybe a couple of shows ago, maybe it was last Wednesday, about the Aboriginal people, of Australia and so forth. Yes. I understand you have some Ohana there, some family there, and grew up in that area. That's awesome. So I was thinking about here in Hawaii, and just with what we call it the overthrow, and I was just thinking, do you think that something like that will be returned back to the Kingdom of Hawaii, or is there something 100%. Else that you think is going to mix?
I think it will, and I have a very strong brotherhood in New Zealand as well, who are very much in that sector as well, giving it back to we the people, because it was taken. Yeah. It's the same with Papua New Guinea. And if you were to look at it in this perspective, Silver Surfer, if you look at the dynamics of your bloodline, whether it be Hawaii, Fijian, Samoan, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, you all stem from the same thing, don't you? You all stem and have the similar cultural aspects, and you look the same, you just sound slightly differently. But know that there is that going back to you, the people, and to the rightful owners and kingdoms of those lands. And I think it will happen in Hawaii. I really do. And I think Hawaii, I logistically think Hawaii will go back to the Fijians and the Samoans, and that as well will be incorporated and linked, so to speak, in this new kingdom. So I'm very curious to see how they fit Hawaii into this, although it's always been connected to the US, and I get that. But technically, your people are those out on those islands, aren't they? You are island people.
Yeah.
So when I think of Ireland, yes.
Where, and I know you talked, I think it's 7 kingdoms, yeah, like the breakdown in the divisions. So it'll be interesting to see where that falls in place as well, yeah.
Absolutely. And as I said, to me, you belong with the islands of Samoa, Fiji and Papua New Guinea and New Zealand and that as well. So, we make assumptions on where we think the 7 kingdoms are going to be, but we are not the powers to be, if that makes sense. Yeah. But for me, logically, my heart says the islands are the islands. They were part of Oceania. I think it was Oceania. So that might be something that we need to look into, is the Oceania side of things, because you are the ocean, you are the sea. Yeah. And so that's my perspective on that. But I think we should go do something in Hawaii in September, perhaps.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. Yeah, it's we're
just putting it out there.
Yeah, we're here in this beautiful land, and with a banner of aloha over us, and to share it to the nation. So,
Wonderful.
Take care, Mel. Mahalo nui for all your mana'o once again, and to the ohana that's been listening. I look forward to just bringing light and aloha to the nation. Yeah,
absolutely, brother. You too. Yeah, you too, darling. KUB. Let's go. KUB. Well, some beautiful conversations happening here today, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with us. KUB. Otherwise, we'll go to Fairly Airly. She popped up a little bit before as well. So Fairly, if you wanted to ask your question, darling, you can certainly rock and roll. It's going to be a big question. I can just feel it coming already. It's going to be a big moment. So we've got KUB, we've got Fairly, and we've got Colorado Mama in the house as well. So Colorado Mama, the rest are all having a little break from all the excitement.
Oh, I'm not on break. I'm in the seat.
There you go.
Well, it's been quite interesting. I was having a bit of a talk with Eric D. Kirk, the Punisher site, for a moment, and I said, Oh, Magic 8 Ball, could you please tell me, are we going to see a Clooney really soon? And he says, oh, yes, we are.
There you go.
And might you expand on who a Clooney might be? Do you have any idea who a Clooney might be?
I have no idea.
The bloodline of Clooneys. We call them Kennedys right now, but some of them are Clooneys, I hear.
They certainly are.
So this has been, as you said, quite the week. Quite the week, and my understanding is that the the U.S. note, is on the Forex. Not totally public yet, but it's the 4th try on this, and this is
it's in the background, yeah. It's in the background.
So we should see some things coming, as I mentioned in another group I spoke on Saturday with briefly, that we're looking for programs to roll out. And the first one that is been talked about is that 2000 tariff dividend check. Is the first test. So, and that has been talked about week after week, like 4 weeks in a row now. Our commander-in-chief, President Donald Trump, he says it over and over again. So for all of you out there that are looking for a little sustenance to stabilize yourself, it's not life-changing money, but hopefully it can go improve your day.
100%. And we were actually, I think someone was asking about that last week and the week before, and I said it's in the system. I just don't know when it's going to roll out. So that will be a much needed, like you said, a little top up for a lot of people. So
there's about 27 programs to kick, about 27 programs to kick right away. But that is the top one. I have hints that possibly mortgage loans might be showing some reduction in some way. And then medical bills, I think, is the second one or the third one on the docket at this point. But obviously, I don't have that written in blood anywhere. But I don't know anyone out there who has a mortgage or any mortgage, any hospital debt, medical debt.
Yes,
I really.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting that you bring that up because I've been doing a little dig around in the insurance side of things as well, Colorado Mama, and there is some movements there. As I said, we can't substantiate this, but there is interesting movements in the sector of insurance and insurance policies, and are they going to make adjustments? I know that President DJT has also talked about giving back some of those funds regarding the illustrious charges that they been charging in private health cover and this, that, and all the rest of it. And as I said, I've been seeing a lot of movement here in Australia regarding the medical insurance particularly. And I know that in the budget, they did reduce some of the pharmaceuticals, as does President DJT talks about as well, for those who still require or submit themselves to certain drugs to survive. And that has been occurring here in Australia as well. So I'm very, very interested. I'm keeping a close eye on insurances. I was talking to a gentleman regarding Lloyd's insurance just recently as well, the restructure of all of those. So as I say to people quite often, and thank you for that reminder, Colorado Mama, is that, I always say to people, even though you can't see it, doesn't mean nothing's happening in the background. Because when you do these deep dives and I see alterations to the system, for many, many years, I think for about 9 years, we never saw any changes. We never saw any updates from banking or insurances. Everything just remained the same. But certainly in the last 3 to 6 months, I have certainly seen more changes than I have ever seen over the 9 to 10 years that I've been doing massive deep dives. So there is movement at the station, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much to the beautiful Colorado Mama for that update.
Last thing I want to say is that we are winning bigly. I was actually in a conference a couple of nights ago, bringing up the fact that we found now a child trafficking ring out of Evanston, Wyoming, here in the States, and filed a big, huge pile of paper in front of some pretty shock and awed faces at the courthouse in sunny Evanston, Wyoming, middle of Podunk, USA. And they have quite the operation going there. Everybody's in on it. And when they got this pile of paperwork, they were just a little bit jaw dropped. The citizens are standing up with their spines and they're saying no more. And then I was in this call, and somebody who is, let's just say, directly tied into a lot of the operations that are happening under our commander-in-chief, said operations are happening while we are talking right now. And so all of us want to see heads roll. Right now, they cannot telegraph because some of these people are not very bright, but they are bright enough to at least listen to what's going on. And I cannot wait to tell you when we toast the victory in this particular case of stealing children. So it's coming to an end, friend.
It is. Yeah. Oh, my heart is pounding right now because, as I said, things are still very much happening, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw and previously this evening, people are still out there fighting the fights on the streets, and we thank Colorado Mama for all that she does in humanity as well. The KGB, KU8, I think it is, or B, and then T. We'll have another go at that as well. So KUB, is it B or an 8? And then Jimmy's in the house as well. Must catch up with Jimmy. But T, are you ready? You ready to ask a question? I know T always has a good one.
I don't like.
I'm very well. How are you, T?
I'm doing good. Doing good. I guess I just heard something the other day, and I guess I'm kind of confused on it. But it was they were talking like that DJT was going to be taking an exit, and somebody else would be coming in. And that kind of made me puzzled. I mean, I've heard a little bit about that before, and I've read about it. But I thought that maybe that the plan would change a little bit because of it being different, going 4 years later. And so I just didn't know if that was still going to be the plan, and if him exiting the scene and then somebody else coming in. What's your opinion on that?
Well, very good opinion here. T, let's you stay there on the speaker, darling, because I want to talk this through with you. Okay.
All right.
If we knew this was an actual movie, okay, and actors die in the movie, don't they? Correct?
Right. They do.
We can only assume that President DJT is not President DJT himself. We have an actor or a clone, however you want to put it. Yeah?
Okay.
True?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen over the time, those, not that I was a Simpson fan, but we have seen many indicators through the acting stages that we saw DJT in one episode in Simpsons that he was seen in a coffin. Okay.
Right.
If you were to look at this in a different perspective, so DJT, President Trump, has come in and did what he needed to do for that movie. But it doesn't mean the movie ends, does it? It just means that a new actor is going to replace. It's like going through a series. And after many series, they often change actors. The main character changes differently.
I got you.
Okay? So think of it on that perspective. Yeah.
I'm not too upset with the idea of DJT leaving. I mean, I hope it. I am, because I trust the situation but I trust him, or I trust that situation. But I guess I really need to trust the plan and not just the person.
Aha, that's what I was aiming at. So what if you know how like we've created a narrative, and this is what's happened. And I often speak in private groups and I say, please do not get attached to President Trump.
Right.
Because we don't know which Trump is going to foresee the next phase of this movie. Is it going to be Barron? Is it going to be Laura? Is it going to be Melania? Do you see my point? Because the focus was then turned to Trump and JFK Jr. But which Trump are we talking about? Just a perspective. Because you'd have to say that we've seen Barron coming up into the elements, and gee, he's very tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a giant, right? So when you think of tall, you think of stature. Think of it that way as well. So is he actually tall, meaning as in is he the new king? See what I'm saying?
Young, He's young.
He's young. But let's look at Laura.
I do like her. I do, but I see what you're saying now. I see what
you know what I'm saying.
But maybe something different.
Different. Okay. So again, like I said, does she then create the legacy of what he has created, so to speak?
Right.
The other perspective you also have to look at is like who's playing who. Okay.
Right.
Now here's a different perspective when it comes to JFK Jr. Just a little side note here. Now, technically, he passed, so there would have been a death certificate. Yeah. I'm going to throw this one at you, T. Hold on. So technically, he doesn't exist. Technically, in the system, yeah.
Right.
Is it possible? Because there's also been the element of DJT passed in a helicopter crash, which technically means he no longer exists. Okay. So if you were deemed to say that,
guys think of that point,
and we know how fraudulent the birth certificate system is, and we can rename ourselves however we so choose to, is it even possible that the signature that we see almost looks like the Schumann residence too, by the way, just putting that out there as well. But let me put it to you this way. If JFK Jr. came back as DJT, because we're talking about time travel here as well, it's quite possible that he is actually DJT. According to, forget the fact, he didn't exist, but he can come back as another person to replace him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So are we technically under JFK Jr.? Who knows? As I said, there is so many truths into.
Then who's to say that they didn't come back as Baron?
Exactly my point. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. I do.
So we don't talk about things. We don't normally talk about things like that. But as I said, there is this little tornness that I do feel because people are, so, we're scared, but we're not scared kind of situation of like, well, who is going to replace it? But remember, it's probably already in place. We just don't know the plan. The
idea the idea that I saw was this. I felt like someone was trying to scare the people. DJT's gone. So that's just kind of like I wanted to make sure that I felt like I could address that somehow, some way. So that makes more sense.
Well, again, it's everyone's journey. That's why I say don't get attached. Sit back and take a sideward step. It's like me and the scammers this week, yeah? Me and the scammers. I could have got upset about the money that was stolen, but I didn't. I said, let's take the power away from them and just don't donate to me, don't donate to them. It's a win-win situation. It's not the perfect situation, but it's a win-win. And then they cut my speaker off because they think they can. You see my point?
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got to find a way of how they're going to deal with it. If DJT was to leave, then how are you going to deal with it? We will find a way, my brother. We will find a way.
Absolutely.
And we will navigate that one. And it has been toyed around quite a bit, so we'll see what happens. But you've got to find a way to get past the emotion and find what's the next step. Because remember, we're walking up steps. And this is a step-by-step process. So if he was to go, who feels the next step? So we'll see. We will see, T. But always a pleasure. We'll always catch up, T. We will definitely catch up when next time I'm home. So, yeah, absolutely. George Brown. Excellent, eh? George Brown, how are you? George? Who doesn't like a good George?
I'm sorry, Mel.
Oops, sorry.
Hi, Mel. I'm sorry. I accidentally unmuted when I shouldn't have. But I just wanted to say, g'day. It's been awesome listening to you all the time. And I made a mistake pushing the button.
Okay. That's okay, George Brown. You can push the button whenever you like. Thanks, darling. Divinely Made, how are you? And then we'll go to Jimmy.
I'm always blessed. I'm always blessed.
It is a blessing. It's a blessing to have you in the house again, my darling. So what little inspiration do you have for everybody today?
Well, I heard that President Trump is actually Patton's son.
Yes, that's correct.
So that's who's coming back.
There you go. Interesting. There's a George somewhere, isn't it? George Patton, George Brown. There's
Oops.
We've got to have a good. Yeah. So it certainly is. And as I said, we've gone through this journey many times, haven't we? Divinely Made. You and I have been around the bush a few times ourselves, but it is. It's a great reminder that they said follow the bloodlines and follow the DNA, and so very interesting.
I would like to talk to you sometime personally.
100%, darling.
I was given something from Yeshua on what my real name is.
There you go. Well, we'll definitely catch up.
and what
Wow.
I do.
There you go. So we will definitely have to have a little chat, my darling. Absolutely.
JFK Jr. is alive, by the way.
Of course
And it could be him.
Absolutely. We can make these predictions all day long, divinely made. But the beautiful Jimmy, how are you, sir? How's things in your side of the
Hey
belt?
Mel, how you doing?
I am very well, sir. How are you? More importantly.
I'm hanging in there.
Excellent.
I didn't catch everything that Colorado mom was saying a while ago. I heard her say something about dividends. Was she talking about the tariff dividends or something different?
Yeah, the tariff dividends, the $2,000 of tariff
okay.
dividends going back to the people. Yeah.
Right. I was curious to know where she heard that from, because what I found last is there's no approved legislation yet on that. So, I mean, she might have heard something different from where I'm hearing it from. So I was just curious to know where she got that.
Oh, and look, like I said, we get this information sometimes through the corridors of the White House and things like that as well.
Okay,
as I said, it was in the system. It was in the system to receive the 2,000. I think someone asked me this, Jimmy, about 3 weeks ago, and I said, look, I've seen it in the system. Then it disappears, and then, as you just said, there's no legislation passed, Jimmy, but I'm very curious because there's a lot of legislation that has actually technically been sitting on the shelf.
Right.
Because there is no one there to clear that legislation. So I've been keeping a close eye on that one. But I tell you what, Jimmy, this is why I love people like yourself who make us even more accountable. I will go and have another look. I did have a look and it was gone, but I do remember seeing it there.
Right. It's all good. I was just I
yeah,
didn't catch
yeah.
everything she was saying. So that's
that's
it's
all
all
right,
good.
darling.
I just caught half of her, conversation there, and I didn't get it all.
That's
all right,
okay, Donna. Too easy, Jimmy, and my blessings and healings continue to go out to people, to you, and to everyone. The Michelle Gunn, how are you, Michelle? There she is. Yes. There is movement at the Boom Shakalaka from New Zealand.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Awesome. Hey, I've got a question for you. What's happening with such things as life insurance?
Oh, I know. They created life insurance, Michelle, to reduce your life. I know. It's like,
to keep us as subscriptions annually. But I have an annual subscription that's coming up in August, and I thought, I wonder how that's going to go, because as you know, as you get older, it gets dearer.
It does.
So I just wanted maybe your perspective on it.
Yeah, look, I've seen a lot of changes. The biggest ones that I've seen, mostly the movement in the medical sector. The life insurance, I will definitely do something because we're going to be living longer and prosperous.
Absolutely.
So I'm thinking it might but it's the distribution of the fraud that they have committed that I'm probably more interested in the sense that that's what I would like to see go away, is that they need to be punished. Now, again, the powers to be only know what they're going to do with that. But geez, that is one sector that I would really like to see go back to we the people. So even though President Trump talks about, this tariff dividend going back to the people. And of course, that was part of their Doge funds and that as well. Yeah. And we'd had a Doge fund in Australia as well as New Zealand and Canada, and they all have what they call Doge funds in each country. It's how it's going to be distributed to you, the people in New Zealand, for instance. Is it?
It's already sitting in our accounts, Mel.
100. It's sitting there somewhere. I was actually doing I was doing a bit of an interesting dive the other day, looking for these actual accounts and where they're going. And ANZ have a very interesting, what we call a back platform, and they've talked about the self-managed super fund. And I think over in New Zealand, it's called the Kiwi Saver account. And there was a little snippet that came out about the Kiwi Saver account is that the account, and I think it's going to be given to all children born now, will receive a Kiwi Saver account. And well, it was an article. Well, that was an article that came out of New Zealand, that's what they were planning on doing. So their government was actually planning on giving them a Kiwi Saver account, and this would be like a government trust account. So instead of trading their bond as they have traded it, are they going to give that money back in progressive payments as that child, gets older? So instead of taking the money from the taxes from the roads and stuff like that for, the children, Social Security, they use our taxes for repayments for single mums and things like that as well. I think there's a restructure of that system, and that's, like I said, going to go back to each child in New Zealand. Every country will have something that suits their system, so to speak.
That will be wonderful. Hey, thank you so much for everything you do for us all. You keep us all on an even par and thinking alternative ideas. We are so blessed to be having you, and today's flight to get on for a live was incredible.
I know. Isn't it exciting, isn't it?
Wasn't it?
You should be on my side. It's like, yeah, okay,
I know.
guys,
I just jumped, I laughed, I thought, they're just trying to shut this girl up, not my girlfriend.
No, I'm finding a way around things very quickly. But
you were getting very clever.
Yeah, I have to be outsmarting these little suckers, but it is all in good fun and good jest. It does hurt on the other side of this, but to know that, as I said, to all my counterparts in New Zealand, beautiful big hello, and massive big hug over there as well for all of you. So thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you. My pleasure. Dan, and then Bo Peep. Let's go to Dan.
Hey, Mel.
How are you? Yes.
Mel, did you hear anything about the 5G towers that were put up, that they're going to turn them on for helping us to heal? Ooh.
Yes, I have. It's interesting. That has been in the cards. We talked many years about Kafifi and the implementation of changing that frequency. That occurred in some areas. As I said, the big thing about 5G was very interesting, Dan, that when I did a stint over in Thailand, I had the privilege of talking to the general director of Honda over there, where they were doing certain manufacturing adjustments or testing for the Honda vehicles. And when 5G was very much in full swing as a 5G tower, the director, who I didn't know there was a director at the time, but he was the only one that could speak English. So I'm chatting to him, an Aussie girl, just talking away. And then I found out later he was the director, and I went, that was a bit of a kickback. But he was explaining to me that the 5G towers, this is really how powerful their frequency was, so to speak. So when they would do these test runs, the actual test runs of these Honda vehicles, the 5G tower, if they were turned on, it would actually lock the steering wheel, lock the doors in these cars from the 5G towers.
Yes.
They were very, very dangerous. And he gave me even a bigger perspective on how dangerous those 5G towers were. And that was before COVID happened, or before the movements started altering and changing those 5G towers. Then we saw Kafifi come in, which was an alteration of the frequency. And then just recently, some other suggestions have come out as well, not just about the healing frequencies of reverting that 5G tower, but also for the autonomous vehicles as well, Dan. So in certain areas, certain towers would have something fitted to accumulate not just the flying cars, but we also are starting to see autonomous vehicles on the road with taxis, trucks and this, that, and all the rest of it. So I think they're going to be using those towers as points for the autonomous vehicles. So to
And
speak,
also the
as
wall.
well.
Am I correct with the wall that they're building? Yeah.
Building as well. And that is exactly right. So everything has a frequency,
Right.
okay, and that frequency can be adjusted. And this is why I open your minds up, Dan, regarding the solar panels and this, that, and all the rest of it, because they can alter the currencies to change the frequencies, to draw the plates. The water plates are actually improving underneath the solar farms. So there's a few benefits to this, and certain crops that are growing underneath these solar panels now, not the old ones, the original ones were shit, but the new ones contain copper and this, that, and all the rest of it. And they're actually seeing an increase of 20% yield in things like strawberries, lettuces, and what have you. What I'm curious to see, though, is the frequency of the fruit and vegetables that they're growing, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Because we look at this in the frequency side of things with the mushrooms. You know, like when they record the mushrooms and the music in the mushrooms. I'd love to know what the music is on these vegetables that are growing underneath the new solar panels, so to speak. So again, we have to find the positive in everything, because you know we'd be told to trust the plan, so to speak.
Over and over
sometimes,
again.
over and over, and sometimes I struggle too, and it's like there's still solar farms getting built, and there's still this going on. So I've had to dig a lot deeper, and not to conform to the conforming bias, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I'm always testing myself, Dan, to say, okay, well, that's the conforming. Is that okay? You're still putting up solar farms. Why? My next question is why, and I think that's why I'm getting really savvy with these, the scammers and everything too. I'm going to keep saying it today so that they understand they're not getting any more money from anybody. So I'm cutting them off. I'm cutting them off, mate. Sorry. But could you imagine me in Parliament, Dan? I reckon I could run a country.
I think you should.
I think I could. I'm going to find myself Maldives or somewhere like that and just run.
You got
that
a lot
country.
of votes here.
So yeah, Dan, we'll see what happens. We're going to keep rolling this out and certainly
Thank you,
see.
Mel.
But yes, the healing, everything is all happening. So thank you, Dan, for bringing that to our attention. My pleasure. Bo Peep, my darling, my little Bo Peep. How are you?
Good to see you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, honey. I got my
right, good.
dodgy headphones are on, but we're good to go.
All right. Well, my situation is that I'm in my house still, but I owe on it in my ex-husband's name, and he just off my ass, for a while. And so anyway, I got a letter from the bank saying I have to, go in with it, and I'm ready for this to come through so I can pay it off. All right.
100%.
And my ex-husband got my, and abusive. And let's see. Now I'm on a hill that's the highest spot around on all the rock. All right. So I'm between two high spots. So I am like zipping on this, resonance. I am like incapacitated by it at the moment. All right. You understand, right? And I am high vibe myself. I am a meditator. I eat vegan, so I'm into it. All right. So I'm paying like a bean out here. All right, trying to get through this. How long do I have before I can walk around again?
It's a tough one to answer, honey. And as I said, you got to keep doing what you can do. And
okay.
And we pray.
It's about the pain.
Well, I'm going to give you this. Well, okay, but I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this information.
Yeah.
I had to ask for a few miracles this week to get through the drama on the other side of all of this, right? Because I still have an actual life. But there's a lot of dramas that happened. And in the seat of diversity, I can tell you now, honey, I was at crossing the red line at one point this week. And then you ask, the right questions, as I always encourage everyone to do, is to continue to ask the question, just change the alteration of the question. And when you change the question, you get a different response. And what I'm going to respond to you is, darling, is that you've got to keep fighting what is true for you, not for us, not for the RV, not for anything else, but it was true for you. And once you get that sorted, then everything else will fall into place. Because when I decided to take away, the only little bonus that I ever got, was it tough? Yes. But you know what I thought about? Here is a different perspective, Bo Peep. To take away the PayPal and the buy me a coffee, which wasn't a great deal. I can show everyone the invoices if I have to. But it's not the point. It's the principle. But the principle then told me the powers to be. I came to the conclusion that, well, has the dam broken and the money is about to come through? Do you see my point? It's the same with your health. If you can fix one thing in your health and make an adjustment and go, well, my gut is feeling good today because I stopped eating eggs. So once you do that, then you go on to the next step and to the next step. This is all a stepping process, because that's what I'm saying, darling. You have to look after yourself and go through the process. It's not about the timing. It's about you. You have to fix what you have to fix yourself first. Okay?
Yep.
So you keep on keeping on with your frequencies where you are. That's where you're meant to be. And we are sending our blessings and our thoughts to you. And we'll definitely catch up very, very soon.
You would believe the miracles that are folding in my life right now, one right in front of the other. So I understand what you're saying. And, you know, God's in charge. So thank you.
There was a miracle came through this afternoon regarding a guy who had MND, and he was told he wasn't going to make it to June. He's gone back for some more tests today, and now he's been given another 6 months. So there's miracles happening everywhere in the world today, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to get through your stuff and then find the next miracle for you. But we love you, Bo Peep, and all of the biggest blessings. To the beautiful now, I think it was Brittany, then Perry Girl, and then Dennis, and then Vic. So Bridget, yeah. Bridget, how are you, my darling? Oh, we got Betty Boop in the house as well. Bridget. Dennis, how are you? There you go. Dennis just popped up. The wildlife enthusiast. I love wildlife. Yeah, I bet you he's wild. Dennis, how are you?
Good.
Very good. Bridget, just hold on 2 seconds, darling. It's delayed. Dennis, how are you, sweetie? Bridget, you're next, darling.
Good.
Very good. What's your question, sir?
You just mentioned that there were going to be Doge payments for Canada, which is where I am.
Yes.
Will that be different for everybody, or is it the same amount? Will that come out before the big, you know what I mean? Or
yeah, I think there is. For Canada, I think it's a slightly different. I don't think it's 2,000. Yeah. I think it's slightly different, Dennis. But I have seen it in the system, as I said, for Canada. There was also one for the UK and one for Australia as well. So those payments are going to start coming through. How they're dispersed and when they are dispersed, Dennis, I'm not really sure, but you would hope to think that they did come out before the process continued. Yeah. So keep an eye on it. Yeah, but they are definitely in the system, Dennis.
Probably after the RV and the scare event or whatever.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it's necessary now. Sorry. But I wish it was now. I wish it was right now, to be honest. But Dennis, it is what it is, and but it is in the system, mate. It is in the system. So sooner rather than later, but we will wait and see.
Is July 4th still an important date for various things?
Yeah, around about the middle of June, around the 19th of June is very, very significant. We've got a few big markers coming up. The 1st of June is very, very predominant. So on Wacky Wednesday, Dennis, I will do a breakdown on Wednesday about the upcoming markers that have popped up. 1st of June, then I think it's the 9th of June or 7th to the 9th. And then there's a lot of activity around the 19th of June as well that really certainly indicate that there's going to be some changes. Just remember, this is a release of transitions, so it's never what we hoped it to be. But Dennis, I will make sure that on Wacky Wednesday, I will be talking about the next markers that we need to get through. But this week is looking very interesting. So by the weekend, I think we're going to see some activity of some sort. What that is, I don't know yet, but we are seeing activity.
Are there still redemption centers, or do we just go to a bank? Or
Oh, that's still sitting. I'm still sitting on the fence on that one, Dennis, to be quite honest. The programs that I'm seeing at this stage, I'm very cautious to call these things redemption centers. Are they redeeming and exchanging? Yes, but I do not want to call them centers to for the sole purpose that it can be classed as very deceiving. I would be deceiving you, Dennis, and everyone else if I called them redemption centers. I believe that there is places that you will be able to go to speak to people about the redeeming and the currency process. But how that unfolds is nobody really knows.
Perhaps wealth management centers might be a better term.
I think so, to be quite honest, Dennis. But you can't get in there until the money's in the bank either. So it's a catch-22 situation, isn't it? But we are navigating this, as I said. This is what makes me think, Dennis. Here's my thought process as you and I are just talking about this, Dennis, is that I am just wondering now, does these payments actually come in before the RV to help us cross the line? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
we'll wait and see, Champion.
I've been wondering if they give us a little bit before the big payment, because I was listening to Captain Kyle a week or so ago, and he was sort of indicating that the RV, some sort of RV has to happen before they take everybody into the big blackness, because otherwise people would go nuts.
I tend to agree with that. I haven't seen or heard that one, but as I said, as I'm talking to you now, it certainly does make sense. And yes, and all the love goes to Captain Kyle as well. He is one of, I think, the best and most truest person out there. But I would certainly be incoherent with that. That is that makes a lot of sense. It
and
really
he gets
does,
attacked
Dennis.
on a regular basis.
He, just like myself, we're all, the ones that are really over the target certainly get the most. But the rest don't. It makes me curious.
Yeah.
Are they the ones actually committing the crimes?
guys.
I don't know,
27.
Dennis, to be honest, because it's those of us like Captain Kyle and myself. Boy, do we cop it. You've only got to see what happened earlier in the show today, Dennis. Cutting my speaker off. It's like, because I didn't want me to speak.
Gene Deco gets attacked big time too.
There you go. That's what I said to you. The closer you are to the truth or over the marker, so to speak, we're the ones that are copying it. Yet I see many other gurus don't cop it like we do.
Okay.
I can tell you now, they don't cop it. They might get a few little things in the background, but they don't get it like we do. So
everybody loves Mel.
We'll see how it all pans out, Dennis. We'll definitely keep an eye on it, and we'll keep you informed. That is for certain. So
thank you for your
until we cross the line, Dennis. We are right here to the beautiful Perry. Yeah, Prairie Girl. Oh, no, actually, Bridget first and then Prairie Girl. Bridget, sorry, darling. There you are.
Hello, good
How are you
evening.
doing?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm
Sorry.
good. So I have some good information and you might have some insight about it. So I've been retired. I'm in California. I've been retired for 15 years now. And with my Direct Express, I get paid every fourth Wednesday with Social Security. So Social Security Disability, because I had to go out with MS. So I'm very like dot my I's, cross my T type of nurse. So I've always been like that. And so I've always kept track of when my deposit goes in and all that, and it's always been, anybody on Social Security knows this. So it always goes in the Friday before that Wednesday, and it's always at my like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, I noticed the last few months it's been getting later, like about 11 or 12. Well, the other night I was awake, and I've been actually awake for 6 years, but I was literally physically awake the other night at 12:30, and I had an intuition, because I'm very close with God. I had an intuition. I said, check your Direct Express. I'm like, why? I said, okay. So I looked out of the blue, and sure enough, for the first time in 15 years, my deposit was posted. And I'm all, oh, they're doing something in the background. So people, be very, 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 very happy, because I think in the background they are doing stuff with money, and I just think that it's just a matter of when it's their timing. But I saw that, and that was just Friday mail, and I get paid on Wednesday. So people on Social Security, I think they're doing something in the background for us. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be very interesting. If that happened on the Friday,
Yeah.
just check your account on Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You never know what they're doing dollar wise.
Absolutely.
But I'm like, they're doing some. I've always watched. And a couple of months ago, I watched them too. And I watched them one night. They put it in at 9 o'clock. It usually goes in at 10 o'clock when they post it. And I'm all, that's weird. And then they held it for an hour. And then my money posted at 10 o'clock like it does. I'm like, oh, they're doing something with the money. And I watch them live time. I see it real time,
Yeah,
because I'm
real
adamant
time.
about watching. And I'm like, oh, so the last few months they've been doing something with Social Security, and mine Social Security Disability. So be hopeful, everybody. God's on our side. He loves us. He will always take care
We
of
got
us.
this. Absolutely. We've got this, girlfriend, and thanks for that update. Appreciate
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Love you.
Love
Have a
you
good
too.
week.
I certainly will. Prairie Girl, how are you, darling? We'll get through some
Mel,
questions.
I'm awesome. Oh my
What's
gosh, I
happening?
got to talk to you.
Woohoo!
So excited. Can you please check your DMs for me?
Yes.
And I have several things that I have to post to you to look over. That's very interesting. That happened 23rd, 24th, Saturday, and Sunday. They had these whistleblowers has had a conference in Sweden, in Stockholm.
Well, that's interesting.
And yes, ma'am, and it's Elena Danan, Alex Collier, Dan Willis, Christopher Cooper, Armando May, and David Applegreen. I think that's his name. I think there's 6 of them. And so they have started disclosing. They even had pictures of the med beds that's being
rolled out.
Not actual pictures, but CGI, but as close to what can be allowed. And also what's inside of an Andromedan ship.
Well, that's very interesting. For
Yeah.
the fact that Alex Collier is in amongst that would be very interesting to see. And the fact that where they are actually situated is quite significant. You would have to guess that there is a huge portal, of course, up there. So I'm That's got my juices flowing. That's got my juices flowing. I'm going to have to go and have a look at that one. That is certainly worth having a look at. So
yes,
thank you,
ma'am.
darling. I will certainly do that. Yeah.
There's so the guy Christopher Cooper,
Mhm.
he has been doing projects under and so he is somehow connected with Elena because the technology that he's been studying with other people is the technology that she has inside of her. So
interesting.
yes, ma'am. So check your DM. I'll be sending some more stuff. And this
Excellent.
is also human resonance. It hit, I think, either Friday or Saturday, just about the time that they're starting their conference in Sweden.
Well,
Yeah.
we've touched on this before, and it's very earthly resonance that when you're resonating with the earth and how that frequency went through the roof because they all gathered in that one place. Can you imagine what would happen once we all moved to that high frequency all at the same time? You would have to say things would crash, as in a solar crash or something to that effect. So the mind just boggles, doesn't it? So, but yeah, it's very exciting.
It's funny that you mentioned the Earth. So Elena has contact with an inner Earth representative, and there's an island up there that they had started opening their entrances from underground. And it's in Gotland, Sweden. And so, yeah, very interesting stuff. I'm going to send you some interesting stuff. So
very good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go over there and have a look now. So thank you very, very much. You've enticed me to go and have a look. So thank you to the beautiful prairie girl. Vic, how are you? And then we'll get to Betty Boop. And All for Truth is in the house as well. Awesome. So Vic, how are you?
Hi, Mel. How are you?
I am very well, sweetheart. More importantly, how are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm in the rainforest in Costa Rica right now on vacation, and I never miss seeing you. So I'm very excited. You're wonderful. Thank you. Let's see if I can ask this question right. So let's say there's not redemption centers and, we go to wealth managers or whatever. The way the banks don't really want this to go down, who is really going to issue us a QFS account? Because I just don't see the banks liking us is a good way to put it. You know what I mean? Like they're not pro QFS. So where are we really going to get our QFS accounts issued from? Thank you.
Okay, Vic, something's just dawned on me. So I'm going to put it in this perspective. We are having the perspective that the banks don't want us to have the QFS, but that's not true at all. They have no idea, but they are already on the QFS.
Oh.
So this is where it gets interesting. Just something that you said right then, and I thought, let me put it into this perspective for you, Vic, because I'm sure that there's other people who are thinking the same thing. Understand that your account is already mirrored. We talk about this mirroring, okay? But it's mirrored into a blockchain. And as you've got your account that you stand with now in the bank, and we've got this quantum system. Well, for that to go over to the quantum system to do a transaction, it has a bridge.
Okay.
Okay. And it's that bridge onto the quantum system. So technically, when we say it's mirrored, is probably not a good analogy. It is linked or bridged to your already quantum account. Okay?
Right.
Does that make a little bit more sense?
Yes.
Because it's
Yeah.
not so much that the banks don't want you to have a quantum account, or where do I get my quantum account? Your account technically is already a quantum account. If you look at it when you're running two parallel railway tracks, and railway tracks we know actually join at joints, don't they? They get links. So they can change that link on or off. So think of it as a railway station. You've got two running parallel and it links into that quantum system. So technically, Vic, it is already a quantum account. It just hasn't moved into to be incorporated on top of that quantum system. So understand that it's the banks, nothing's going to change technically, Vic. You won't see the change. It's just a technical change. It is already a quantum account. So that's why we stress that do not go and give people or go to the banks and ask them for a quantum account, because it's already quantum.
Okay.
We're just waiting for these bridges to be incorporated and to smooth into the one line. So if you think of it as a railway track, you know how they change the links and then it goes into the same track. That's what we're doing. It's already a quantum account. We're just making alterations or putting it in a stationary position. So your train is just sitting over here and eventually it will be incorporated into the same track. Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, as I said, it's not about, we've become fearful that the banks are, we've got to get out of the banks, or the banks don't know about the quantum system, so therefore we don't go to a bank. They are the quantum system. That's the point. They are the quantum system. And what happens there is that, I'm just going to find my battery pack now, that's what they're going to be doing, is that they're just going to smooth transition into this new system. To the bank teller that's you're going to go to, Vic, is just going to go, oh, yeah, we saw some changes in the banking. We saw the changes. Well, understand those changes are your new quantum account that they're talking about. So does that make a little bit more sense, that it's not about you have to go and open up an account, or where do we go and open up the account? The account is already quantum. Does that make a little bit more sense?
Yes, and it's so exciting.
Okay, so there you go. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, darling.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Just hold on a second. Lone Be Kind. Just get you to mute for a second, darling. We've got Betty Boop, All for Truth, and then we'll go to Deb's Energetic Cells, and we'll finish with Lone Be Kind. So Betty Boop, how are you?
Hi. Thank you. I'm fine. Can you hear me well?
I certainly can.
Great.
I have my headphones on today, but that's okay. Let's go. Let's roll.
Okay, fine. Nice to see you again. It was some time ago. Well, I've been listening to this whistleblowers meeting, and I saw the announcement, and I thought, God, I'd love to go there.
Yes.
And since I'm calling up from Sweden, I thought it was interesting. It's in Gotland, and Gotland is an island, if everyone doesn't know. And I was wondering, could you send it over to me, forward the meeting? I would love to hear from that.
Absolutely.
Could you? Please,
I will certainly
love that.
do that. Yes.
Well, actually, it was almost the same subject I was going to talk about. It was about frequencies, not exactly, but lately I've had so much ringing in my ears, and maybe it has got to do with the Schumann resonance, as you were talking about. And I was thinking, do you have any idea of that? What's your take on that? The ringing in the ears. I've heard a lot of people discuss that, but I'm not quite sure, because it actually does happen many times when the Schumann resonance is very high, when it's all white, you know. Have you noticed anything like that, or what's your take on that? Would be interesting to hear.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And as I said, as you see these alterations or feel these alterations, there's many different types of what we call ascension symptoms, so to speak. They can be everything from ringing of the ears to, tiredness, to headaches, to also everyone has a different frequency, so they are affected differently to the Schumann resonance. And it's quite interesting that we correlated this Schumann's resonance because it confirmed that it wasn't just us burning out, so to speak, or having issues or health issues, because the first thing that most people tend to go through is that, oh, I've got to have this because it's this or that. And sometimes it's just, like I say, take a deep breath, go within and go through the process. And normally it's just a time of taking time out, or go and hug a tree. We went down to the beautiful botanical gardens the other day and took our shoes off and just walked around on the grass and hugged a tree. And boy, did the energies that we brought home with us were amazing. We were feeling very, very exhausted, both mentally, physically, and everything else. So again, Betty, the ringing of the ears, sometimes it's a transition of, messages being correlated as they go through. Sometimes some people feel it in their third eye as well, and they'll get this like sudden rush. I often have it coming from the temple, my top of my temple. Comes through. So it's many different ways and many different forms. And of course, we are so unique. So I don't try and put it in a box that, that's just ascension, don't worry about it. It could be any multitude of things that could be possibly going on. It's like, stomach's upset. Well, what did I eat for dinner? And go through the process. And I think that's important. We can't put everything in a box and say it's connected to the Schumann resonance. But we certainly can go and have a look at that resonance or renaissance, really, and have a look at it and see if we can relate to possible symptoms of frequency upgrades. And I know myself, like I said, just recently with everything that was going on in the background, I had to change my frequency and breathe. Does it do I get aggro? Yes, because it still frustrates me. But that frustration is my frustration, not your frustration. So I take it on board. That's my frustration. And then I utilize things such as a Schumann resonance or grounding and things like that as well. Music. I'm a music person, so I love dancing. I'll often dance in bed and things like that as well, because that's my way of coping mechanisms and that as well to get through all of that. So there's many different forms, but people have said those symptoms that you shared, and then they correlate that with the Schumann resonance, and it certainly is. It can't be a coinky dinky. Yeah, it's not a coinky dinky. So.
Yeah. The interesting part was that it was at the same time as this big meeting was, the whistleblowers meeting. Yeah. Now that she told me about that, I didn't know. I knew the date, but I didn't think about it then. But then, as I was thinking what I was going to ask you, and then I heard her explain, and it's like, oh God, that was exactly that day. It's like I had ringing all day, and so I understand. It's like I got the explanation of it. And also, as you said, I went out barefoot on my lawn in the grass. And boy, it was such a relief. The ringing was there, but not as strong as before. It was like a kind of a remedy or something. Yes.
Yeah, it was like balancing it all out.
Yes, it was wonderful. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear your explanation because we're on almost the same frequencies very often. So I'm so happy to speak to you. You give me the truth when I'm looking for it. What does Mel say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
My
very
pleasure,
much.
Betty. The beautiful.
I'm so glad to have
no
talked to you.
worries.
I hope you have a good day. Thank you for
Certainly
everything
will.
you
Always
do.
a good day. It's always
Thank
a good
you.
day when I'm over here. So All for Truth, we're going to quickly get through this very quickly. All for Truth, how are you, my darling?
Hey, Mel, how are you?
Superb. All the better for hearing you. Let's go. What have you got for us? What
Well,
inspiration?
First of all, I found the mute button. Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the
Anyway,
the 7-hour mark, and I'll be back at 7.
My question to you is: the media is dictating that DJT and Iran are coming very close to an agreement.
Yes.
Is that a distraction or hopium? And the second part of that is DJT is also indicating if that truly does take effect, he is expecting other countries in the Middle East to join the Abraham Accord agreement. Your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's a mixture of everything. I think it probably is going to be the biggest distraction of all time. I'm going to say distraction. Full stop. Just distraction.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And very quickly to talk about things that are weird on the phones and stuff. I had two friends over today, and they're on Instagram, and they go, "Oh my gosh, look at this! All of a sudden, the background. If you tilt your phone, the background's moving a little bit." And I'm like, "Well, that's because we're on the quantum system." And they looked at me like I had 3 eyes. Yep.
Of course.
So anyway, I care about you. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Absolutely. It's interesting very quickly too, is that we are moving into a more dimensional world. So you will see a lot of movement in the background. In fact, if you're taking photos now, as you hit on the photo, you will see this little jolt in the photo as well. But yeah, very interesting. Deb's energetic cells, and then the lone be kind, and Mrs. C, I'll catch up with you after the show. So Deb's energetic cells, how are you? Yes. Deb's energetic cells. Deb, I'll catch up with you after as well. To the beautiful lone, be kind. I may never walked. Interesting.
Hello,
How are
Mel.
you? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I am from Melbourne, Australia too.
Wowzy. Thank you,
My
Melbourne, for
question
bringing
is
up some
about-
beautiful weather.
Thank you. My question is about digital wallets. Why do banks constantly urging us to install and link digital wallet for setting up internet banking? Should we install a digital wallet on our phone, or should we wait for the QFS to be released before installing one? What do you think about it?
Very good question. I personally installed it because it is the quantum system. That is your quantum wallet, and that is your quantum account.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, darling. My absolute pleasure. As I said, we are already the reason they're asking you loan, be kind, is because you need to be on the system, and it's up to you. If they were to do it, I want you to think of it in this perspective, not just for loan, but for everyone else out there who still struggles with this whole digital integration. They're asking you to do it. They're not putting you on the system. Think about it in this perspective, Lone. In previous times, banks have often just gone ahead and done things, and we can't change it. Now they are asking you to encourage you to go onto the quantum system. Does that make sense, Lone?
Yes, yes.
So there's a big difference. Before, they used to take all of your 100 points ID, didn't they?
Yes, yes,
They used to take it all. And now, whenever you go to the bank and you want to get some money out, that power was taken away from them. That's why you have to put your digital wallet in, because only you can see it. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
So look at that from a different perspective. Yes, it's difficult to break that. Do I do it? Do I don't do it? It's a digital ID, this, that, and all the rest of it. But think of it in the other perspective. They lost their power, and we used to get upset if we ever went to the bank and they go, "Can we have your driver's license, please?" And you go, "What for?" I used to burr up. I was one of those people, because they could no longer see those acronyms on the other side because they were taken away from them. When you digitally put them into your digital wallet on your phone and on your app, you put them in, not them. So think of it in that perspective as well. But a very, very important question from Lone. Be kind. Be kind to yourself, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good night from.
Okay, Spies, we got it. So, yeah, we play here twice a week. Wednesdays and or Thursdays and Sundays. So I'm gonna try to get a lot of shorts in now till the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna get 3 hours and then see how tonight goes at 7 o'clock.
People that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing today. I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles, even if they are launched from other sides of the world, and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful. And now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the One Big Beautiful Bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have probably, you're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon, I'm also announcing that I will appoint, very importantly, General Goodline to lead the ambitious.
Hey, she does a good job on her short ones. This one's a new one. She has 2 other ones too.
Across central U.S. while storms target northwest and northeast. This stagnant pattern will remain through Thursday and is known as an omega block due to its resemblance to the Greek letter. And yes, an omega block happens almost every year. It's just a coincidence that omega means the end. It's really just made me start thinking about the 250th Empire Theory, because we know that the United States this year is celebrating its 250th birthday. Now, if you don't know what the 250-year Empire Theory is, it's a historical hypothesis stating that the great world powers last an average of 250 years, or roughly 10 generations, before collapsing. And it's originated from the 1976 essay, The Fate of Empires. Just like in this photo, a lot of them only last 250 years before collapsing. Not to mention, experts are saying that we're going to run out of oil by July the 4th. Just like we see Cuba right now crashing because they have no oil. And yes, for the ones that are going to say, we do have oil, we don't have the kind that we need, the kind that comes from the Middle East. See, we produce light crude oil, which is like champagne, but our machines run on thick diesel. Listen up, Omega.
Okay, another one from TikTok. Okay, we got a 4-minute one. We got one 4-minute one in.
Let me take you through it. So the first main culprit who kind of started a lot of this is the United Nations. They have sustainable development goals. And in 16.9, they state by 2030, they want to provide legal identity for all, including birth registration. These UN agencies want to frame digital ID as necessary to participate in the digital economy to access services. This is how they're going to lock you in. Now, the UN is working closely with the World Bank. The World Bank has a program called Identification for Development, or ID4D. This promotes biometric digital ID systems for low and middle income countries. They're always going to start with them because it's easier to get them to comply and to roll it out. And they'll gradually work their way up to the first world countries. The top donors of this program, the usual suspect, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the UK government, the French government, Norway, and the Ahmadiyar Network. This was created by the eBay founder. They call it a philanthropy, but they have a goal to hardwire humanity toward a digital future. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? ID4D, it has a partnership with the United Nations and the WEF and the Euro Commission and the GSMA. This was an interesting one. It is the Global System for Mobile Communications. It is an association, a nonprofit that represents mobile network providers' interests. It's a digital ID for your phone that'll eventually progress probably to a microchip that is implanted in you. Step one, get it on the phones, get you used to having a digital ID on your mobile phone. And so the GSMA is part of this whole partnership. Next, we come over to the WEF, the World Economic Forum. They are considered the main thought leader when it comes to digital ID. And the WEF sets the global agenda for the frameworks of what they roll out. Now, you can look through their white papers and the reports. I've listed them here if you want details. Now, one thing to note with the WEF, Larry Fink, it's probably a name you've heard of, especially when it comes to the Trump administration. He is a board member of the WEF, but he also happens to be the CEO of BlackRock. And he also is part of Trump's inner circle. Trump has aligned himself with the technocrats, the billionaires, the globalists. Trump will be part of rolling out the digital ID. He's not going to stop it. The last entity is ID 2020. This is a US-based NGO alliance. It's a nonprofit. Okay, it was formed in 2014. Again, this goes back years and years and years in the planning. Their goal is to promote privacy-protecting digital ID that's aligned with the UN Strategic Development Goal. This ID 2020, this alliance, is a public-private partnership with all the major corporations. We're talking your big tech corporations, your big healthcare organizations, your big IT infrastructure organizations, your big financial institutions as well. I just listed out a few, but I wanted to highlight Microsoft, Accenture, Gavi Vaccine Alliance, and MasterCard. So out of ID 2020, Gavi and MasterCard, and Gavi is the Vaccine Alliance, they partnered to create a digital vaccine record to track children in underdeveloped countries. It uses MasterCard's technology. Gavi is the vaccine passport part of the digital ID. Gavi has an alliance with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the WHO, UNICEF, and World Bank, and others. Now, Gavi says clearly that digital ID innovation is central to its mission. Digital ID identification is central to the mission of a vaccine alliance. Let that sink in. The next partnership that came out of ID 2020 is Microsoft and Accenture, founding alliance partners of ID 2020. Together, they built a blockchain-based identity prototype using biometrics and blockchain to give undocumented people digital ID. And of course, there will be many more steps to come where all the infrastructure railways are aligned to connect everything you do, say, are, buy, sell, whatever, online, whatever is digital, it's all connected to you. But these are the four main players behind it: the UN, the World Bank, the WEF, and ID 2020.
Okay, new guy there. The last one will be a 4-minute one. Here's another interesting video I got. Okay, I'll be back at 7.
From a very young age. When I was a little kid, I actually spent a lot of time with my grandparents. My grandfather was a nuclear physicist. I remember he was telling me about black holes. And that terrified me.
I was like, that's just mind-boggling. It's a monster, right?
But at the same time, it fascinated me. And I said to myself, how do we know that? This unthinkably massive thing. I realized that nature doesn't keep secrets. It's only a matter of, do we understand? What tools can we use to expand our knowledge? And for me, dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT, was the tool that led me to the discovery.
When I first saw the phenomenon, I was like, holy shit.
But then it was actually like, whoa, what is happening?
Am I losing my mind? But then I showed other people, and things kept getting weirder. Just for the record, I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my God, come on.
Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
I've been under the influence of mind-altering substances a lot, but I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my God. It changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
Pyramids like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like programming code.
It's definitely saying something, Ken. I just want to take a picture of it and translate it. Wow.
You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. The light is just literally revealing it.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it. I can see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these psychedelic, altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
Wow. I'm obsessed. It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
I mean, like, take yourself to that. Like, I just made a connection that nobody made before, which is a simple connection. The claim is, if you project a diffracted laser on the surface and you smoke DMT, you will see code running in surfaces. Yes, like in the Matrix.
So there are a few possibilities. One,
I lost my mind, which is the coolest losing your mind ever in history.
the second option is that
this is the biggest discovery of humankind. If anybody ever asked themselves what it would be like to know you live in the Matrix for sure, well, I know for sure. I'm convinced.
So where do we go from here? All I know is
it's about to get crazy.
So how was that one to finish the show up? All right, so we got a good mail video in and a bunch of other stuff. We'll get another 3 hours in tonight. So we'll be back at 7. Thank you, so Kay must have been arrested today, lurking. So yeah, mods in today. Final. Earl, I think Tim was in here. We'll see. All right, have a good dinner, and I'll see you guys after dinner time. And happy Memorial Day again. Make sure everybody watched the beginning. I did Memorial Day videos at the beginning, and in prayer. God bless everybody. Love all. Have a peaceful night. Stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith, and never give up. Signing off for a Monday holiday, Memorial Day. Chico do. And we'll see you around 7.